وسهلا. أنا اسمي Autumn. Hi, my name is Autumn. And this past summer, I embarked on a journey of a lifetime. Morocco wasn't always a place I had dreamed of visiting, at least not until very recently. But something inside of me pulled me there. I was studying Arabic, this beautiful, melodic language I'd fallen deeply in love with. And yet, right before the trip, I was burnt out. Excited, yes, but scared too. Scared that I wouldn't be good enough, that I'd forget everything I learned, that I'd get there and feel completely out of place. The night before I left, I sat on my bed surrounded by half-packed bags, trying to name everything I was feeling. Joy, fear, hope, exhaustion, but none of the words felt big enough. It was something else. Something quieter, deeper. As the hours before my flight ticked down, I told myself one thing. I don't need to be ready. I just need to go. By the time I stepped off the plane and into Casablanca, I was running on nerves and adrenaline. The air was thick, loud, alive, and I was completely overwhelmed. We'd barely left the gate before the chaos began. A man in a pristine blue suit pointed me toward gate 35, but when I got there, the border agent started yelling, and I didn't understand a single word. My throat tightened, my eyes stung. I've never felt so helpless in my life. And in the moment, I wondered if I made the right decision. Should I have come here at all? Hours later, we arrived in Fez, exhausted but safe. That night, we ate soup at Dr. Kanous's home and learned our first 2 lessons about Morocco. Water is scarce and toilet paper is a commodity. Somehow, those small truths made everything feel a little more real. The next morning, I woke up in a new world. The streets humming with the call to prayer, the smell of espresso and bread drifting through the air. I was nervous, but curious. I'd learned I'd be staying with a host family in the new Medina, a mother and father who both work as technicians. I didn't know what to expect, but I hoped I could belong there. Later that day, we wandered through the old Medina, a maze of narrow streets, markets, and colors so vivid they felt alive. Mosques stood carved with patterns that told stories older than memory. Walls, tiles, cedar ceilings all whispered history in every detail. And for the first time since arriving, my fear began to give way to wonder. My first Arabic class at Alif was humbling. I sat there, surrounded by voices that moved faster than I could comprehend. Every word I didn't know felt like a weight heavy on my shoulders. The days blurred together, notebooks filling with new letters, new sounds, new fears. But little by little, I began to understand. Not just the language, but the rhythm of life here. Morning walks became familiar. Couscous dinners became comfort. Even the chaos began to feel like a kind of peace. But life in Morocco didn't slow down to let us adjust. There were stolen phones, close calls, and an exhaustion that settled deep in my bones. Yet, somehow, every setback pulled me closer to the people around me. Then came Chefchaouen, the Blue City. The sun beat down as we climbed through winding alleys painted like the sky. Blue walls, blue doors, blue rooftops, a city that felt like a dream. It was said that the blue reminded refugees of the ocean they'd once fled, and as I walked through the streets, I thought of my own kind of refuge. The small moments of calm that kept me steady amid the noise and chaos. But, like always, can't count on the quiet to last long. Our next trip was to the Merzouga Desert. Riding through the dunes on Camelback, I was small, insignificant under the vast and endless sky. And then the wind changed. The air thickened. A sandstorm rose from the horizon, swallowing the sunset. We huddled close, sand lashing our skin, the world vanishing around us. It was chaos again. But together, we survived and made our way back. The next day, returning to school as if we hadn't experienced something so incredible. By the time we reached our holiday in Tangier, I thought I'd found my rhythm. But rhythm means nothing when you're dancing alone. I remember sitting in our Airbnb, surrounded by laughter I didn't quite feel a part of. Everyone seemed to have someone. A friend, a bond, a shared joke. And there I was, the extra puzzle piece that didn't fit anywhere. Even when they smiled at me, something stayed quiet. It's strange how you can cross oceans and still feel invisible. I kept asking myself what was wrong with me, why I couldn't just be like them, care less about school, go out, why even in a place so full of color and sound I felt so gray and alone. I was tired. I was tired of trying to fit inside a space that wasn't meant for me. That day in Tangier, we visited a museum celebrating Morocco's friendship with the United States. I stared at the old walls and thought about connection, how nations can bridge oceans, and yet I couldn't bridge the space between myself and the people beside me. In this foreign country, I was completely and utterly alone. After Tangier, I wanted to go home. But it was with the help of Dr. Canoes, who took me to a family lunch, that reassured me that things would get better. For the first time in weeks, I felt warmth. She took me to the hammam, a traditional Moroccan bath, and at first I was terrified. Every inch of me felt exposed. But in that steamy room, surrounded by strangers, something shifted. As water washed over me, it felt like I was shedding more than just skin. I was letting go of the heaviness I'd carried since the beginning of the trip. In the days that followed, life felt lighter. I began to notice small things. The rhythm of Arabic in my mouth, the smell of rain on tile, the laughter echoing through the Medina. I started writing again, reading again, feeling better. Maybe that's what time does. Maybe that's what travel does. It humbles you into empathy, into understanding. I learned that kindness can exist in every language. In the woman who found the alchemist for me at a bookstore, in the man who cared for stray puppies on the street, and my teachers who pushed me to try, even when I doubted myself. As days dwindled, I realized I wasn't the same person who left home a mere month ago. I'd come here to learn Arabic, but I'd learned something even more important. How to listen, how to trust, and how to love the world and myself as I am, soft, strange, and full of quiet mercy. On my flight home, I watched the clouds drift beneath me, each one a quiet whisper of everything I'd lived through. Part of me felt heavy, almost heartbroken to leave Morocco. The other part was light. Yes, I struggled. Yes, I lost. Different, unseen, but those very struggles became my greatest teachers. They taught me how to stand on my own, how to listen more deeply, how to see beauty even in discomfort. Morocco wasn't perfect. The noise, the chaos, the stairs, the dust, but it was alive. It was real. And somehow, it began to feel a little like home. I know I'll go back one day, maybe to visit, maybe to stay, maybe to teach, maybe as an English teacher, maybe just as myself. But no matter what the future holds, I'll carry this version of me, the one who learned to love a world that didn't always love her back, and who chose to keep her heart open anyway. Ma salama. Until we meet again, Morocco.